In 2005, Army Major Scotty Smiley was in northern Iraq when a suicide bomber set off an explosion, leaving him completely blind.
I woke up about a little less than a week later in Walter Reed Army Medical Center. As the drugs began to come off, I really, truly realized where I was, that my wife was here, and then, something's wrong. Like my eyes, I can't see.
I went back to my room and I prayed not for his eyesight, so I didn't care about his eyesight. I just wanted his heart. I wanted God to fill him and fill him even stronger than he was before.
Fighting a new battle, Smiley knew to overcome it would take one thing.
I had to forgive the man who blew himself up, and it was tough. The man who took my eyesight, and then most importantly, denying God and really questioning God. I had to ask God, for forgiveness. And once I made that decision, that's when I really began to begin my recovery.
Taking on a new lifestyle and perspective after the accident, Smiley and his wife decided to launch a ministry called Hope Unseen. Now traveling the country, speaking to different groups about overcoming obstacles and also working with our government officials to improve veteran care.
Scotty wrote Hope Unseen, sort of a memoir about his journey, our journey together. I started to see Scotty sharing his story, and it was not only changing Scotty, but it was changing other people.
The Smileys have also been strong advocates to improve the VA system, recalling the constant hurdles they endured while trying to seek benefits.
It was daunting. It was, we had to fight for every little bit of care and resource. I started to question, why is this so difficult and how do I get help on this? And someone suggested, well, you need to hire a lawyer to navigate the VA benefit system. And that's where I just said, absolutely not. This is not okay.
With your ministry, obviously, that's launched you guys into a lot of different public spheres. And one is recently the White House. Tell me about your interaction with President Trump.
He was actually sort of shocked to hear, firsthand what our service members go through. He couldn't believe it. And he also said he couldn't believe the suicide rate when he was briefed on that. That alone shows that there's a culture issue going on here, that together we can address it.
Recently, Trump signed the VA Accountability Act, making it easier for the Department of Veteran Affairs to fire incompetent employees.
Our veterans have fulfilled their duty to this nation, and now we must fulfill our duty to them.
Trump also just signed an executive order for a multi-billion-dollar initiative to modernize information technology and records, something the Smileys would say was a major problem when they were seeking care. You have lived this experience. You've walked the battlefields and off through this injury. What would you say to other people in the service, veterans, or maybe they're currently serving, if they're battling an injury that could be life-altering or PTSD? What is your message to them?
I didn't believe I deserved it. I didn't believe my family and the change of life in which we were going through, that we deserved it. But it was hope, that my bedrock was God. And because I had that, I found that life was worth living.
And Smiley lives life to the fullest, like completing an Ironman triathlon, where he'll release a documentary on that experience later this year.
Yeah, it was a blast. The year that it took me to train and the 16 hours and 48 minutes that it took me to complete the Ironman, a little less enjoyable.
Tell me a little bit about how you navigate it.
My brother-in-law, I hold his arm, and then once we entered the water, I led the swim, and then he tapped my left calf for me to go left, tapped my right calf for me to go right. On the bicycle, I have a tandem bicycle that I'm the engine, I just pedal in the back. My handlebars are stationary, and then my partner, pedals in the front. We run side by side, have a little stretchy tube that we hold on to, and then he tells me left when you need to go left, right when we go right. And if I say, hey, let's slow down. For me, it was just amazing. The team that enabled us to cross the finish line on time.
Continuing to work as a team, the Smileys want to use their experience to show others that they can persevere through hope and focusing not on what is seen, but what is unseen. From Dallas, Texas, I'm Angela Zatopek for CBN News.